Let them believe you're average. Let them think you're just another face in the crowd. Let them assume you're not built for this. Because that silence, that lack of attention, that's your greatest weapon. You're not the loud one. You're not the flashy one. You're the one who moves in the shadows, patient, focused, dangerous. While they chase claps and likes, you're chasing something real, something they can't understand. Let them doubt. Let them roll their eyes when you speak your vision. Let them mock the way you grind while everyone else is relaxing. Good, because when they underestimate you, they let their guard down. And that's when you strike. You don't need to explain. You don't need to convince. You just need to keep showing up, keep pushing, keep building when no one's watching, because that's when killers are made, in the dark. Let them think you're soft. Let them think you're quiet. Let them think you're dreaming too big. Because while they're comfortable, you're getting cold, sharp, and calculated. You're turning pressure into fuel. You're turning pain into discipline. You're not trying to impress them. You're preparing to shock them. And when that moment comes, when you step into the spotlight fully formed, battle-tested, and locked in, you won't need to speak. You won't need to announce anything. They'll feel it. They'll know. They'll remember the day they overlooked you, because that's the day they made their biggest mistake. So let them sleep. Let them doubt. Let them talk. You just keep becoming the storm. There's a moment in every man's life when he realizes the world doesn't care. It doesn't care how hard you try. It doesn't care how much potential you have. It doesn't care what you say you're going to do. And that moment right there is when the real ones separate from the spectators, because you can fold or you can flip the switch, go silent, go underground, and start building a version of yourself that nobody's ready for. Silence isn't weakness. It's strategy. It's the decision to shut up and show up, to do the work while everyone else talks about it, to grind in the dark while the world is too distracted to notice, to suffer when no one is watching, just so you can rise when it matters most. See, the average man craves attention. He needs to be seen. He needs people to pat him on the back just to keep moving. He wants to be recognized, even before he's earned it. But not you. You don't need their eyes. You don't need their approval. You don't need their applause, because you know something they don't. The lion doesn't need to announce the hunt. The wolf doesn't need a crowd when it stalks. And the man who's truly dangerous, he moves in silence. Let them underestimate you. Let them write you off. Let them laugh. You don't need to convince them. You're not here for that. You're here to conquer. And while they flex for followers, you're building muscle. While they complain about the grind, you're married to it. While they look for shortcuts, you're out here bleeding for every inch. Because every rep in silence is a rep closer to dominance. Every quiet morning, every cold night, every lonely session, that's your edge. That's what makes you different. That's what makes you dangerous. They scream for attention. You walk in like you own the place. And when you leave, they know your name without you saying a word. You don't beg for respect. You earn it in sweat, pain, and relentless consistency. Because here's the truth. The most feared man in the room is never the loudest. He's the one who doesn't need to speak. He just looks you in the eye, and you already know. You already know he's been through hell. You already know he's bled for every step. You already know he's not the type to quit. That's you, or that's who you're becoming. Not because you talk about it, but because you're living it day by day, brick by brick, in silence. They don't see the 5 a.m. alarms, the missed parties, the skipped comfort, the reps that burn, the failures that cut deep, the nights you cried and kept going anyway. They don't see that, but they will. Because eventually that silence turns into a presence, an energy, a pressure. You walk into a room and they feel it. because you paid the price, and now you carry the power. Power you didn't buy, power you didn't fake, power you earned, in solitude, in discipline, in silence. So don't announce it. Don't explain yourself, don't warn them. Just keep showing up. Keep grinding, keep building. Let them overlook you, let them doubt you. And when the day comes, and it will come, when they finally see what you've become, don't say a word. Just stand there, unshakable, unbreakable, undeniable. Because by then your silence will be screaming success, not with words, with results, with power, with presence. You are not noise, you are not talk, you are not hype. You are a man of war, a man of grit, a man of strategy. And your silence, that's your deadliest weapon. Because when it's time to speak, it won't be with words. It'll be with impact, with dominance, with legacy. This is your time. Build in silence, rise with fire, and make the world regret the day they ignored you. No one needs to know your next move. You don't owe the world a single update. Not your progress, not your pain, not your plans, not your passion. You don't owe them clarity when they only ever offer doubt. The truth is, they were never really watching to support you. They were watching to see if you'd fall. They were watching to count your failures, not your effort, not your hunger, not your drive. So stop giving them the privilege of front row seats to your grind. They haven't earned it. Let them think you've disappeared. Let them assume you gave up. Let them wonder what happened to him. Is he still chasing that dream? He used to post every day. What's going on? Let them talk. Because you're not here to be seen. You're here to become. And becoming doesn't need an audience. It needs obsession. It's forged in darkness, in rooms where the air is heavy and quiet, where the clock keeps ticking but you don't stop working, where every rep, every step, every drop of sweat has no likes, no comments, no applause, just forward motion. Let the world run their mouths while you run your race, while you build in silence, while you push through pain, while you rise without validation. Your next move should be so silent it feels like exile. But when you return, you come back with results that roar so loud they echo. Because when it hits, when the work you've been doing finally surfaces, when the late nights, the lonely hours, and the self-discipline start showing, it won't be what happened. It'll be, how the hell did he do that? And they'll never know. Because they weren't with you in the fire. They weren't with you on the nights when you were too tired to stand, but too determined to quit. They weren't with you when your own doubt whispered louder than your motivation, and you chose to keep going anyway. You didn't ghost the world, you just chose you over them. You chose the process over the spotlight. You chose the pain over popularity. You chose the mission over their meaningless opinions. And now, you're not just grinding, you're evolving. You're turning pressure into power. You're turning sweat into strength. You're turning silence into success. You see, kings don't explain, they execute. And lions, they don't lose sleep over the thoughts of sheep. So let them ignore you. Let them count you out. Let them think they've seen your peak, because they haven't even seen the beginning. You're not interested in revenge. You're not chasing validation. You're chasing greatness. And greatness has a price. Isolation, obsession, repetition, relentless execution. Not hashtags, not announcements, not group chats or status updates, just pure, undiluted grind. Your life should start feeling like a ghost town. Fewer calls, fewer parties, fewer distractions, more progress, more peace, more war with the man in the mirror, because that's what it takes. You want to change your life? Then vanish, lock in, shut your mouth, shut out the noise, show no one, tell no one. Work in silence until your presence becomes a thunderclap that no one saw coming. They'll call it sudden, they'll call it lucky, but you'll know it was built in the dark, in silence, with no blueprint but your own will, with no cheerleaders but your own voice saying, keep going. Let them scroll past your silence. Let them laugh. Let them assume they can guess while you build. Because when it's time, when the lights come on, when the results start screaming louder than their doubts ever did, you won't need to say a single word. Your life will say it for you. You didn't need a witness. You didn't need permission. You didn't need the world to clap. You needed grit. You needed focus. You needed fire. And you've got that now, more than ever. So keep it moving. Keep it quiet. Keep it relentless, because kings don't ask for approval. They build the throne, and then they sit on it while the world watches in shock. Let the results speak. Let them regret it. They said you wouldn't make it. They said you didn't have it in you. Too quiet, too small, too soft. They looked at you like you were just another guy trying to be something. You know the type, the people who smile in your face and laugh the second you walk away. The ones who never believed, but watched anyway, waiting for you to fail, praying for it, betting on it. And you said nothing. You didn't fight back with words. You fought back with work. You didn't waste time arguing. You were too busy becoming unrecognizable. See, the ones who mocked you never understood what was inside you. They never saw the fire. They never saw the early mornings, the nights alone, the tears, the sweat, the doubt that you learned to choke out and kill every day. They only saw the surface, and they judged you based on a version of you that no longer exists. Let them remember that version. Let them remember the kid they dismissed. Because the man you've become, he doesn't need to be loud to be powerful. He just shows up, dominates, and leaves them speechless. You know what separates you from them? They talk. You move. They doubt. You deliver. They stall. You sacrifice. That's what they'll never understand. This isn't for attention. This isn't for claps or likes or followers. This is personal. This is war. And you're the last man standing. While they were chasing comfort, you were forging character. While they were chasing attention, you were chasing greatness. While they were laughing at your small steps, you were laying bricks for a fortress they'll never break into. Let the results speak for you. Not just loud, deafening. Let the results scream louder than your silence ever could. They'll start to notice. The same people who used to look past you, they'll look twice now. They'll scroll through your life in disbelief, trying to figure out when the shift happened, trying to pretend like they always supported you, trying to act like they didn't throw dirt on your name when you were just trying to plant roots. Let them feel that heavy feeling in their chest, that regret for not believing in you, that pain of missing their chance. You don't need revenge. You don't need validation. You don't even need to be seen. Because a man who's built in silence, who's bled in the dark, who's trained while no one watched, he doesn't fear the spotlight. He just no longer needs it. Let them talk. You're too dangerous now, too focused, too disciplined, too sharp. They can't reach you, not mentally, not emotionally, not physically, because you're operating on a different frequency. They post, you progress. They pretend, you prepare. They seek comfort, you seek conquest. And when it all unfolds, when the dust settles and the noise fades, the only thing left standing will be your results. Cold, unapologetic, unarguable, not a word, not a post, just facts. Success is the most brutal kind of revenge, because it doesn't yell, it doesn't fight, it doesn't try to prove anything, it just exists. And when it hits, it cuts deep, because everyone remembers who they ignored, who they laughed at, who they doubted, and they'll never forget that you were the one they overlooked. Let that eat them alive while you keep building, while you keep winning, while you keep becoming even more dangerous. Don't slow down. Don't explain. Don't apologize. Because you didn't just prove them wrong, you made it impossible for them to ever speak your name without choking on regret. That's how you move. Like a lion. No bark, just bite. You don't compete. You dominate. You don't chase people. You chase your standard, your code, your purpose, your legacy. Let them regret it. Let them wish they'd believed. Let them wish they'd treated you with respect. Let them wish they hadn't played games with someone who was playing for keeps. But you don't stop for any of them, because now it's not even about them. It's not about proving them wrong anymore. It's about proving yourself right. Right about your potential. Right about your power. Right about what happens when a man refuses to quit. And from this point on, you're not looking back. Not for applause. Not for closure. Not even for revenge. You're too far ahead now. Let them chase ghosts. Let them replay memories. Let them drown in the silence you left behind while you rise in power, in silence, in greatness, because you are the result, and they'll never forget it. So let them underestimate you. Let them think you're not capable. Let them roll their eyes, whisper behind your back, or laugh when you tell them your dreams. Because that underestimation, that's fuel. While they're busy doubting you, you're quietly building. While they're watching, you're working. You don't need to convince anyone right now. You don't need to prove anything today. Your results will speak for you. Your silence will echo louder than their noise. Just remember, legends are built in the dark, not in the spotlight. So keep going, keep grinding, keep becoming the person they never saw coming. And if this video gave you chills, or reminded you of who you really are, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. This is just the beginning. I've got more for you. More fuel, more fire, more truth that most people aren't ready to hear. And if you're still here, if you watch this all the way through, I see you. You're different. Drop the word unshakable in the comments so I know you're one of the few who doesn't just start things, you finish them, because those who get underestimated are usually the ones who end up rewriting the story. I'll see you in the next one. Stay sharp, stay hungry, stay unshakable.